The technology that's used in the X5, the X3, is also the same computer programming that operates in all of your sedans with XDrive. The thresholds are a little bit different, the parameters that they use, but the technology is very, very similar. Being a predominantly rear-wheel drive vehicle, as Curtis starts to accelerate, you'll see the rear wheel spin up first. You'll see the brakes start to apply looking for traction. Curtis is going to try and hold the throttle steady right at around 2,000 RPM. And as the vehicle notices there's no traction in these three wheels, it'll push power back to the right tire that does. And again, what did that take? 4 or 5 seconds, maybe? Not a lot of drama to it, not a lot of high-speed wheel spin. So somebody trying to get out of a snow-covered parking spot, or even driving down the highway, where the roads are dry and clear and you round a corner into the shadows where the street's still frosted over, this system responds very, very quickly to put traction on the tire that still has it. So the next vehicle we pull up, the Porsche, you'll notice we didn't have to move the roller plates at all. The Mercedes, the Porsche, the BMW, the Infiniti, all are exactly the same wheelbase and track. They're the same size. How do we expect the Porsche to do? Not as well? So you're paying a premium, you know, at any given auction level, the Porsche is $15,000 to $20,000 more than the X5. You'd hope that that buys you something rather than just a cool key. You can see the system's working, brakes are grabbing, looking for traction. Eventually it sees the wheel out to the right. But the key there is eventually. You can hear the back right wheel scratch a little bit, so it's trying. And there it finally goes. So it works very similar to the X5. The stability and traction systems work very, very similarly. The biggest difference is purely the time it takes to activate. So where the X5 drove off in whatever it was, 4 or 5 seconds, that's easily a 10 to 15 second program on the Porsche. It just takes longer to be able to vector the power out to the one wheel that still has traction. And I don't know what's different about it. I don't know why they've engineered it that way, but we saw something similar on the twist hitch, that once it found that front wheel was spinning, it took longer for it to put the brakes on it to slow it down. And if you're rounding a corner onto a street that's still frosted over, how fast do you want the systems to respond? Immediately, right? Especially if you have a spouse or a teenage son or daughter that's driving. So, Mercedes-Benz, German engineered, how well do you expect it to work? Anybody? Not very, right? But what you'll notice is how hard the brakes are working to keep the wheels from spinning, right? So when I reference the average Mercedes owner being maybe 106 years old, it makes sense. They have a very conservative setting for the stability and traction system. As soon as it realizes there's no traction out there, the first thing it does is try to slow the vehicle down. You there? So the other thing that's happened now is Curtis has pressed the gas pedal all the way to the carpet. So the system slows the vehicle down. It also reduces engine power. So if an elderly person is out and hits something that's frosted, this car is about trying to get them slowed down and stopped. It's not obviously about trying to get them where they're trying to go, right? Safety is the paramount response. The only way to get this vehicle off the ramp is for Curtis to drive it sideways enough to where the tires grab the side of the ramp. As soon as we get one tire on the front that has traction and one on the back, then the Mercedes stands a chance to pull through. Most people are pretty surprised at the difference of how that vehicle works. You know, what's the current Mercedes ad campaign? You haven't seen the ad for it? Best or nothing? What is that, best or nothing?
Nothing.
Right? So again, from a perspective, it's not that that system's bad. From a safety side, obviously it's very, very good. It's going to work very hard at slowing the vehicle down. It's just not necessarily going to get somebody where they need to go. Now, before Curtis starts up on this one, how do you expect the Infiniti to work? Stunning? Oh, good stuff, yeah. We asked the question, how long do you think before it comes off? I think the right answer is Thursday. But you'll notice as he starts releasing brakes, because this is a predominantly front-wheel drive chassis, the front wheels start spinning up before the back wheels do anything. The other thing you'll notice now is that where the Mercedes-Benz clamps hard on the brakes, Nissan doesn't care so much about slowing you down. The wheels are allowed to spin freewheel up. As he continues to push down on the throttle, he can press this one to the carpet as well. And after about 15 or 20 seconds, the car finally realizes it's not going anywhere, and it shuts everything down. So again, the computer controlling engine management works very similar to the Mercedes-Benz, but the traction system that controls brakes on the wheels doesn't do anything nearly as well. So again, if you've got somebody, you've got to send them to the store. If you've got to get to work and it's snowing out, which vehicle do you want to be in? The only way to get this one off is to drive it off to the side of the ramp.
Okay, for the kitty, though.